Hey, 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 I'm back. Happy Friday. How's it going, family? I know it's a little different setup today, but that's okay. All right, diving in real deep here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, blessed day. There's something that's been on my mind I would love to share with you guys, love to talk about. Maybe you may be in this situation. You may know somebody in this situation. You guys know the drill. You know what I mean? Okay, diving in real quick. Now, I'm going to give you a quick little short version, quick version of what I seen growing up as a kid. And this is why I'm so passionate when I talk about if you're in a domestic relationship, if you are in an abusive relationship, I don't care who they are, run like the house is on fire. Okay, all right, now I watched my mother make excuses as to why she couldn't leave that marriage, that relationship. She was with my father for 20 plus years, and this person, he bit us in the cheeks until we were black and blue, burned us with forks and hot knives, spanked us like uncontrollably. Sometimes they both would, to the point to where they were both out of breath. Tear us down mentally and physically. Seriously. It was getting to the point to where that my mother would make comments like, "Oh, sweetie, you should stop before somebody gets killed one day, somebody gets seriously hurt." Yeah, sometimes she jumped in and helped one of my brothers out, or helped one of us out, facing a serious, when I say a serious case of an abuse, it was pretty serious. He would drag us up out of bed by our hair. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, and there's 11 of us, 11 siblings, and I watched my mother for years make excuses as to why she couldn't leave. She tried to a couple of times, but then she failed. I have no resources. I don't know if we move into a homeless shelter right down the road, he's going to find us. Oh, nobody's going to help me with 11 kids. I don't know what to do. I don't have friends. I don't have family. If you are in this situation, stop right now. Because it's not about you anymore. It's about people around you. It's about the children you may have. It's about the pets and the animals you may have. You may have come in a custom made to being abusive, adopting those habits of an abusive relationship. Sometimes you need to stop pointing the fingers and point them at yourself. Because there is a point in your life where you may become the villain in your own story, in your own journey. Don't use current excuses. Oh, I'm overweight, because my mother was overweight. When I say she had a really nasty attitude, it was nasty. I never felt like I was loved by any of my parents, okay? Take me as an example. I sat back as a kid going, this is unbelievable. If you hate it so much, if you dislike us kids so much, because she would make comments like that, I just wish I had an abortion. I wish you guys weren't here. I wish this, I wish that. I would always ask myself, well, if it was so bad and you didn't want us anymore, why don't you just give us up? It's because she was the villain of her own story. It's because she turned into the monster that she was married to. Do not let it get so bad to the point to where a tragedy happens and then you move. Don't let it get so bad to the point to where somebody is mentally in there. When I say you do not need Google to let you know what kind of toxic people are out there. I don't care what age you may be. Don't let it get so bad to the point to where you are thinking about suicidal thoughts. Don't let it get so bad to the point to where you are lashing out on other people. Do not let it get so bad to the point to where you tell yourself this story, there's no help, nobody's going to help me. Don't use your kids as an excuse. Don't use not having no money as an excuse. Do not use anything as an excuse as to why you are not moving out of that domestic or toxic relationship. Because at the end of the day, you don't want it as bad enough. I don't know who has to hear this. There is resources out there. There's homeless shelters out there. There's transitional programs out there. There's resources out there for veterans. There's family resources out there. There's children and welfare resources out there. There's Catholic communities, Christian communities, Mormon, Muslim community. The list goes on. Dozens of churches are out there. If you are willing to put up with the abuse, the torture you've been putting yourself through for years, you may have to look at the mirror. I'm serious. All jokes aside. Stop pointing fingers at your abuser and start pointing fingers within. I don't know who has to hear this. Do not cry and complain to your social media friends. I'm living out of my car, or I'm homeless. I'm just going to go back to the, same old, same old. Yeah, because you are comfortable in that spot. In order enough to move and make things happen in your life, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Okay? At some point in time, you will break mentally. Either you break for the worst or you're going to break for the better. There is no in between. Do not use this man or woman or family members as to why you can't get yourself out of a situation you know you're not supposed to be in. If you're in I've heard this too, a religious culture surrounded by, it could be Christians, it could be Catholic communities, it could be Muslims. There's so many Amish. Oh, I'm trapped in this culture. I'm trapped in this way of living, and you know you're not supposed to be there. Don't give up. Come up with an escape plan. Don't turn around and reach out. If you have others, it could be your siblings, grandma, grandpa, just know you can't save them. The only person you can save is yourself. If you have kids, get them the hell out of there. You know what I mean? I've heard so many stories. He's an alcoholic. She's an alcoholic. Gambling. Oh, this, that. Oh, my religion won't let me leave out of this toxic environment. Okay, then you do not want it as bad enough. You have to push your fear to the side. What are you willing to do? What kind of curses are you willing to break? Do not give me no cop-out excuses. You know what I mean? All right, let me give you a quick little short version of when I was growing up real fast. My parents came up with, oh, we're Christians. That's why you guys don't go to school. And, oh, this is why we discipline a certain way. I knew growing up something was terribly wrong. Really, really wrong. My father was out of prison. When he got out of prison, he was never the same. Never the same. Matter of fact, I already knew something deep down, emotionally, spiritually within him. He's not wired right. Okay? And going throughout my childhood, when I say my parents would just dive off the extreme end on smallest things, I knew if I were to make it out, my mental mindset may not make it. And that was a scary thought to have. So sorry guys, I get choked up sometimes. There was moments in my life where it got so bad when I left my parents' household. Not once. The second time around was final. I said, oh my God, I just can't. When I got into a relationship, I noticed things were playing out in my relationship. I picked up habits like hiding food throughout the house. I was hiding food throughout my own house. because that's what I was used to growing up. I was having PTSD flashback moments that I could not control and had no idea why. When I say it blew up in my face after the math, because it takes time for abuse to like really hit, you will turn around and look back and go, oh my God, I was surrounded by dangerous people. And I have come accustomed to that shit. I have adopted habits that were not mine. I became a person that I didn't even know who I was. Okay? When you are surrounded by negative energy, negative, toxic people, okay, you become that. And there is a such thing as being too late. So don't sit around, wait around for it to be too late or damn near extreme to the point to where you almost lose your damn self. You have to run like the house is on fire. Okay? Like, I don't know who needs to hear this. Don't give other toxic people, other people who have gambling, drinking problems, drug problems, an excuse as to why they are, because they are that way because of their past or their childhood or this or that. No, you have got to make a move. That should scare you enough to say, oh shit, I don't want to be like this. This is not who I am. This is not my purpose. You have to distance yourself away from those people. You are not God. You cannot change others. The only person you can change is who? You! You know what I mean? Okay? So those are some tips I've learned throughout my journey. I've ran across people who've told me, yeah, my parents were religious. I went through almost the exact same thing and have it be way worse. That's a different story for later, you know what I mean? So if you guys know somebody in this situation, because you guys know, you don't need Google to tell you. If you are in this situation, my advice to you is to run fast. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care if you have to be homeless. I don't care if you have to sleep next to a church for somebody to help you. I don't care, whatever it takes. Move, because sometimes you can become so brainwashed that you don't even see it yourself until you step outside of the brainwashing, because that's really, really true. Distance yourself from those people. Remove yourself out of that situation. If you're in an environment and you know something's not right, you have that deep down inner voice, don't use nothing as an excuse to leave. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope this helps somebody out. You know what I mean? Like, Scoop, listen, okay? Don't use your past against you. Don't use other family members. Oh, they don't believe me. No one, but don't stop. You don't need anybody other than you to believe you and your story. You know you have bad habits that you got to get rid of. You need to come up with a game plan and surround yourself with a better way of thinking. Get your mind right, get your grind right. What you put in your body is what you're going to get out. The self-talk, self-sabotage, all of that, okay? Be out on the lookout for and control your own mind. If you do not, somebody else will control it for you. Anyways, love you guys. I'll see you later.